Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be giving you guys another Halloween look. I know it's a little bit after Halloween, but this is something I filmed Halloween day on my friend JJ here. This is our Edward Scissorhand look. So, if y'all want to see how we got this Edward Scissorhand look, definitely stay tuned. I'm going to start off by cleaning the areas where I'm going to be placing the scars with a little bit of a cotton round and some rubbing alcohol. I did put a moisturizer all over and then just use that rubbing alcohol to dry out the areas where that moisturizer was at that I wanted to place the scars. I did put the moisturizer on though so that everything else would apply smooth and evenly. Those are my little scars made out of liquid latex, and I'm going to use my spirit gum and I put that on the back of it and then place it right on there. I noticed after I did this first one, you'll notice on the other ones I placed the liquid latex first and then put the scar on. It worked a little bit easier that way. And then I usually use either the lid or the back of my nail to press down the ends. The finger can stick a little bit easier, so the nail, it tends to not stick so much too. So here you'll notice I placed the glue first and then I'm going to place the scar on top. And I just made the scars out of liquid latex and a little bit of toilet paper. Since this is an Edward Scissorhand look, we're just kind of placing these scars randomly. The nose one and the lip one, we did make sure that we placed it precisely. I kind of skipped through a couple of the other ones because I'm doing the exact same step for everything, putting the spirit gum down, letting it dry for just a second, and then putting the homemade scar on top. And then by the end I actually found out that my tweezers worked really well at the end of it to smooth everything down. I did dry it with a blow dryer in between this section, and then now I'm taking my Benefit 15-hour primer and I'm applying that all over in the in-between sections. And then I'm going to use my hands to warm it up and work it into the skin. I'm going to take my Kat Von D Shade 42 foundation and my Real Techniques blending sponge, and I'm just going to be pressing this on because I am working with scars. I don't want to rub or buff to, give the scar a chance to move around. I'm just pressing it directly onto it, and this is where the scar will blend a little bit better into the skin because now they'll be the same color, and then we'll go in at the very end and I add some shading onto the scars. This is Kat Von D Shade 42. I didn't use a white because he's very fair, but he's not white Edward Scissorhands. So we went ahead and did a really white look, like a very, very pale look. I'm sorry, not a white look. The pure white can sometimes look a little bit like super costumey. The like really fair ivory tends to give it more of like a realistic, actually what he looked like in the movie sort of thing. And then I set his entire face with a little bit of a translucent setting powder. It's this new one I've been trying out, I'm not sure of the brand. We're going to be using that eye contour palette, and I'm using the far left brown to first start to shape the face, and I'm using my Urban Decay double-ended highlighting brush. It's like a blush and cheekbone highlighter brush. It's really nice. I just use this for the entire look, and then like an eyeshadow brush later on. I did speed this up like super speed because it's just slowly building the color that I want. Now I am going to be bleaching out his brows. For this look, we really didn't want to glue them down because he had pretty thick, full, nice brows beforehand, so I really didn't want to try and conceal them because I knew it wasn't going to work well. So we went with more of like a bleached out look, and I actually really like the way it came out a little bit more than the glued down method. And I'm just using my Kat Von D Shade 42 foundation, and then I'm brushing that in with my Smashbox spoolie from their Brow Tech collection. Then I'm going to be using that light white from Kat Von D and setting that brow just a little bit with some powder so that when I go and blend colors in there in a minute, it won't be too noticeable. Then I'm going to go in there with that same brown, and I'm going to start to make those eyes look really nice and gaunt and deep set. Going in right there at that eyebrow and creating a really hollowed out look, and then his come really far down on the side, so you'll notice I took the shadow and really went really high with the brown in the front and then really low with the brown on the sides to create that really like Edward Scissorhand eye look, because that's what his eyes look like. And then this is the other really important part, creating that shadow and that tiredness kind of under the eyes. Same thing, I just go in there and I'm slowly building that color until I'm happy with it. Then I'm continuously adding like final touches and blending shades. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Going in there and we're going to contour the nose. I did take a look at the picture and I did try to make his nose look as much like Johnny Depp's as I could. And we're blending, blending, blending. I'm taking that middle transition color from the Kat Von D in the top section and we're going in there and we're really heavily blending out that darkest contour so it has that really nice cool tone and it's not pulling too orangey and too warm. I'm just pretty much going over the top of everything I already contoured and I'm just softening everything out so that there's not such harsh lines. I'm going in there with the darker brown and I'm going to create that really socket look in the eye that Johnny Depp has. So we're going a little bit below where his, well, quite a bit below his natural lash line, and we're really darkening it under there, but we're leaving that in between the lash line and the where we put the darkest color so that it looks really open-eyed. And then same thing anywhere where I have the darker shadows, I've gone in there with that darker brown to create that shadow a little bit better. And just right now I'm adding that really kind of dirty effect to those scars like I was talking about. We're just blending it right over the top of it. What's nice about this look is it's a little bit more on the messy side as long as placement of everything initially is correct. You just kind of messy things up and make them look a little bit realistic and you're pretty much done with the look. It was my first time working with prosthetics though and like adhesives, and I'm not gonna lie though, I really did enjoy making my own. It was a lot of fun. Shading in those scars, shading in his Cupid's bow. And I'm going in there once again with a darker brown. And I'm really only placing this right there in the most hollowest sections. Because of course you can always add a little bit of a filter in a picture to make it look even darker and more gaunt, but I wanted in person it to have that same effect. So even under the eyes, I just with an angled liner brush added that same really dark color in the corners and then right underneath as well. Blend. Contour that nose some more. This honestly gave them the most realistic effect because that powder even grabbed to the foundation that was on top of them. So even the top's got a really raised look. And then I did spray him with a little bit of the Kat Von D setting spray when we were done, and then that was it. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Be sure to like and comment down below and let me know down in that comment section what else you guys are wanting to see. I'll also link all of JJ's information below, all of his social media, so y'all guys can check him out as well on all of his other stuff. And remember, it's your life. Make it beautiful.